Good evening. Am I audible to all of you? Okay, great. So, I told you that I'll show you questions from CAT and XAT. So, in the three sessions that we have for critical reasoning now, today, tomorrow, and day after tomorrow, all questions are going to be from previous CAT and XAT papers. In these three sessions, we'll cover almost every single question that has appeared, both in CAT as well as XAT. So, let's start with CAT first. Over here, this particular presentation has total of 16. There are 16 questions here. Okay. Question number one, two, three, four, five. I think we should solve question number one to question number five first. Okay, question number one to question number five. Uh, question number four and five, they have the same passage. So I think it will not take us much time. In fact, question number three, four, five. Three, four, five, they are from the same passage. There's a single passage and there are three questions based on that. So please try to solve question number one to question number five. They are from different years. I'm not going to give you more than 10-15 minutes. Okay, please start, then we'll start the discussion. Question one to question five. Start. Are we done? Should we check? Yes? Okay. I see that many people have joined this session using a mobile device. I fail to understand how are you going to participate? Don't you have an alternative? Because you will not be able to navigate the slides. Are you able to participate? And I have actually changed the slides. Okay, Rohan, you are able to participate, right? Okay. I have made lots of changes this year. In every topic, I have made lots of changes. So you cannot rely on the PPT that is already uploaded there. Fresh PPTs are going to be uploaded. Okay, no issues. Let's take a look. If you are able to participate well, good. Question number one. Question number one, he says that when you look at developed countries, okay, developed countries have made provisions for social security for senior citizens. So if you are living in a developed country and if you are a senior citizen, then you don't have to worry because developed countries have made provisions. But what happens in a country like India? In a country like India, there are no provisions. The joint family system has collapsed. The government is not in a position to provide social security because the government is facing financial crunch. And that is why the advice is that if you are in the working population, then you should build a financial base for yourself. Okay? Because when you grow old, when you become a senior citizen, according to him, if you live in India, uh, you will not have any social security. Who are you going to rely on? So for your social security, you should build a financial base. Question is, which one of the following, if it were to happen, weakens the conclusion drawn in the above passage the most? If you have to weaken the conclusion, means you have to prove to him that no, there is no need for you to build a financial base. How will you prove to him that there is no need for you to build a financial base? Number three, yes. If you say that India, listen, India is on the path of development and India will become a developed country. When India will become a developed country, you have already mentioned in the passage that developed countries, they have made adequate provisions for social security for senior citizens. So if India will become a developed country, so it will also make provisions for social security. You need not build a financial base for yourself. The government will take care of you. Number three is how you weaken it. Absolutely. Anyone has any other answer? Okay, great. Question number two. Hitesh, you wanted to mark 2 for what? Question number 1 or question number 2? For question number 1, okay. How will you weaken the conclusion? The insurance sector is underdeveloped, and the trends indicate that it will be extensively privatized in the future. So this is strengthening the arguments, not weakening. If the insurance sector is underdeveloped, that means there are very few people who have insurance. So in the future, more and more number of people will take insurance. So aren't you telling them to build a financial base? Aren't you asking people that yes, today insurance sector is underdeveloped, but there's a lot of scope. There's a lot of scope to the insurance sector is going to be privatized. So you that means that you will have to take insurance. Number second is trying to say that you will have to take insurance. Okay, okay. So number two will not work. Did you understand why number two will not work? Right, Rohan, you want to mark number one. Will number one weaken the conclusion? The investable income of the working population, okay, as a proportion of its total income will grow in future. So the amount that people have for investment, it is going to grow in the future. Okay, but again, you're asking them to invest. If you're asking them to invest, you're asking them to build a financial base. How are you weakening the conclusion? You are simply saying that today you don't have money to invest. Probably you don't have much money to invest, but 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 what will happen? What will happen? In the future, you are going to have more and more money that you can invest. The investable income that you will have will grow. It will grow. That means you will have more money in your hand to invest. So again, the keyword is he's asking you to invest. So how is it weakening the conclusion? You will weaken the conclusion by saying there is no need for you to invest. It's only number three which proves that there is no need to invest. Why do you want to invest? India will become a developed country, and developed countries they make provisions. So why do you need to make provisions for yourself? Number three should be the answer for question number one. Number two, he tells you even though cigarette consumption is a mere 12% of the total tobacco consumption, but it contributes 90% to the tax revenue. 90% of revenue comes from cigarettes. He says the punitive means punishing. Okay, something which is punishing, which punishes. The punitive cigarette taxation regime has kept the tax base narrow, and reducing taxes will expand this base. So because we charge a lot of tax on cigarettes, that is why there are few people who consume cigarettes. If we reduce taxes, then the base will expand. That means he believes more and more people will start consuming cigarettes. So, which of the following will best bolster the conclusion? Bolster means support. What will support the conclusion that reducing duties will expand the tax base? Yes, it has to be number two. Again, very simple question. I mean, so very simple questions appear in CAT as far as critical reasoning is concerned. So yes, the moment you say that there is a likelihood that tobacco consumers they are going to shift to cigarette smoking if the cigarette prices were to reduce, then these the same smokers, the same consumers who were earlier not consuming cigarettes, now when they shift to cigarettes, more number of people will consume cigarettes. This is going to expand the base and you get more revenue. Number two is the best answer for question number two. The next three questions are from the same passage. It says, we have planned the development with a view to raising the standard of living of our teeming millions. Hence, our economic development is inspired by social justice. Okay. So what has he done? He has planned development. What does he want to do? Why does he want development? Because he wants to raise the standard of living of the population. He believes he believes that if he raises the standard of living, so this kind of a development which raises the standard of living of people, it brings about social justice. That is what he believes, isn't it? So now the question is, which of the following will weaken his argument? How will you prove him wrong? How will you prove him wrong? Okay. Some people are saying number two, social justice implies economic prosperity. If that is exactly what he's saying, that is exactly what he's saying. Our economic development is inspired by social justice. So we are going to get social justice through economic development. So number two is not weakening the argument, it is strengthening the argument. Number two is not right. You have to prove him wrong. Okay. Number four. Number four says planning for development requires expert inputs. So why are you assuming that we are not experts? How can you say that the people who are in this category, they are not experts? No, number four will not make sense. We have no information. Probably the people who are stating this, they are experts. How do you know? So how we are we going to weaken it? You are saying that we are planning developments, and through this development, we will raise the standard of living. But the moment I say, listen, how can you plan development? Development cannot be planned. Your entire argument falls. Answer for this question is three. The moment I say development cannot be planned, your entire argument falls, because that is how you start. You are planning development, and through that development, you want to raise the standard of living. And because you are raising the standard of living, you believe that through your economic development, you are going to get social justice. But I can punch holes in your arguments if I say that your very first step is not doable. You cannot plan your development. Everything falls. Number three, we have planned development. Yes, yes, it is. So you have to weaken the argument. What you're trying to say that he has already planned development. He has already completed the task. That is what you're trying to say? Yes, okay. We have planned development. Okay, it is planned. It is planned right now. He has made a plan. He has not executed that plan. Okay. So if I say that development cannot be planned, you have made elaborate plans. You have made plans that I'm going to give 50,000 crore to agriculture. Okay, this is my plan. You have already made a plan that I'm going to give 100,000 crore to medium, small enterprises. Okay, now this is the plan that you have made. So you have planned development. This is the plan, but you have not executed it. That is why I'm saying the moment I tell you that, listen, all this plan is hogwash. You cannot plan development. You never know whether you will get this money or not. I can give any reason. So if I raise question marks on your plan, then everything else that is dependent on that plan falls falls to the ground, isn't it? That is why number three is the answer. Rohan, I did not understand your question. Why can't be planned that's finishing the argument, not weakened? I did not understand what you're trying to say. This is just like saying, okay, this is just like saying, I am going to the movie hall. I'm going to movie hall in my car. I, therefore, I will reach the movie hall on time. Okay. How can I weaken your argument? If I say, listen, you don't have any car. So how are you going on your car? How will you reach on time? I mean, we can deny anything by saying this. Means we can deny anything by saying this means when we say that development cannot be planned, then we can deny everything that follows from the plan. Is that what you're trying to say? Okay. Okay. So question number three. Question number three. How will we weaken the argument? By saying that development cannot be planned. The same passage he tells you The argument is based on which of the following assumptions? What are the assumptions? See, he tells you that our economic development is inspired by social justice. Okay. So what does he mean? Even though he does not tell you directly, but what does he want to say? He wants to say that social justice is my aim. And how am I going to get to social justice? It is through economic development. So number one is definitely right. He is assuming that social justice is the aim and economic development is the means. Okay. Number two, there is overpopulation in India. That is not true. He's saying that we have teeming millions. Teeming millions does not necessarily mean that there is overpopulation. There's a huge population that we understand, but you can't say that there is overpopulation. And number three also is correct. Why? Because he is assuming that he will get social justice because of economic development. So he's assuming that his economic development will lead to social justice. One and three, both are assumed, which means answer is three. Aren't one and three opposites? No, they're not. No, Nikita, they're not. It will lead. It will lead to social justice. Means social justice is our aim. This is the means. Okay? Social justice is our aim, and economic development is the means. Okay? So number four, question number four, answer is three. Many of you mark number two. Many of you mark number two. I don't know why you did not mark the third statement as correct. That is what he believes. That is what he believes, and that is why he is saying that I have planned development, and through this development, I will raise the standard. Now, because I'm raising the standard, that means I'm bringing about social justice. Question number five. Which of the following will strengthen the argument? You have to prove him right. How will you prove him right? Number one, absolutely. Number one, the moment you say that social justice can be done by raising the standard of living, you prove him right because that is what he intends to do. His, his aim is to bring about social justice, and the means is standard of living. If it's actually possible to bring about social justice through raising the standard of living, then whatever he's saying is going to be correct. Number one is going to strengthen the argument. Absolutely. Absolutely. Please check. Please check. Anybody has any issue? Right. So let's move to the next five then. Next five questions, all from CAT. Again, over here you can see question number six, question number seven, and question number eight. Six, seven, and eight. They are from the same passage. And then you have question number nine, question number 10. Please try to solve question number 6 to 10. 15 minutes. 15 minutes. Start. 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, let's check. Number 6 to number 10. Question number 6. He says, it is sometimes mooted that there can be democracy in a two-party system. That would be correct if politics were a game like cricket or football, but politics is not a sport. Okay? So he's trying to say that if there is a two-party system, then there is no democracy. Because politics is not politics is not like a game. So which of the following would strengthen the arguments? Is the main idea that he wants to prove is that there is no democracy when you have two-party system. If you have two teams or if you have two parties, then there is no democracy. What is going to strengthen his argument? Yes, the moment you say that two political parties limit the choice of the voters, the moment you say that there are some limitations on the choices, where is the democracy? Democracy means you have full freedom. Number three, two political parties limit the choice of the voters. If I say this, then I am strengthening the argument that there is no democracy in a two-party system. Absolutely. The answer should be number three for question number six. 7. Which of the following would weaken the argument? Now you have to prove him wrong. How will you prove him wrong? Yes, number one. The game of politics is played like any other game, for example, football. The reason why he believes that democracy does not work in a two-party system because he thinks that politics is not a game like cricket or football. But if I but I can weaken his argument, I can weaken his reason, the reason on which he bases his argument, I can weaken it by saying that listen, the game of politics is played just like any other game. So you're saying that democracy is possible if politics were a game like cricket or football. That is what he himself said. That would be correct if politics were a game like cricket or football. So the moment I prove that politics is just like football or cricket, I am weakening his argument. Absolutely, number one is the answer for question number 7. Very, very good. Number 8. The assumptions of the argument is or are which of the following? What is he assuming? What are the things which he is assuming? Assuming means he has not stated it, okay? Assuming means he has not stated it. Politics is not a game that is already stated, okay? Two-party system is ideal for democracy. This is contrary to what he's saying. Number two is contrary. According to him, if there is two-party system, then there is no democracy. He never mentions he never mentions that cricket is played by two teams. But he's using cricket to tell you that if there are two teams, then there is no democracy. He's equating democracy with cricket. That means he's assuming that cricket has two teams. Cricket is played by two teams. Only number three is correct. Only number three. Answer is going to be three. If you have problems in assumptions, many people have problems in assumptions. Just check. If you say politics is not a game, if you say politics is not a game, okay, are you strengthening his argument or are you weakening his argument? An assumption will be right. An assumption will always strengthen his argument. Always. So he is saying that there can be no democracy in two-party system. In two-party system, democracy would have been possible if politics were a game like cricket or football. That means in cricket or football there are two teams. There are two teams. He did not mention it, but that is what he's implying. So number three is only the answer for question number 8. Hitesh, you had a question. Why not three? Why not three for the previous question? Which of the following will weaken the argument? Which of the following will weaken the argument? Number three, you can weaken his argument by saying that political parties they struggle for power. But that is not addressing the question, Hitesh. The question is if there are two parties, then there can be no democracy. Because politics is not a game. Whether these political parties they struggle for power or they do not struggle for power, that is all your now you're building up on your opinions and assumptions. Okay. Rohan, I will come to your question also. Wait. I will come to your problem also. So please understand, for whether political parties struggle for power or they do not struggle for power, that is immaterial. What is material is whether there is democracy in a two-party system. So number three is immaterial to the discussion. It has no impact. Number 8. Now question number 8, Rohan, you are saying politics is not a game. This is what he's proving. But it is already stated. It is already stated. If it is stated, can it be an assumption? Politics is not a game. Politics is not a game like cricket or football. So it's already stated. If it's already stated, it cannot be assumption. It is a premise. It is a premise. And premise and assumption, I told you, they are different. Okay. Can you explain again the question, Avinash? Question, this one, the present one, 8, question number 8. Okay. The assumption of the argument is which of the following? What is he assuming? What is he assuming means what is going to support? What is going to support what he's saying? Number one is also going to support what he's saying because he himself says politics is not a game. But that is something which is already stated. Okay. That thing which is not stated, that thing which is not stated and which strongly supports what the author is saying is an assumption. Number one supports the author, but it is stated. Number two contradicts the author by saying that two-party system is ideal for democracy. So if it contradicts the author, it cannot be assumption. Can your reason contradict your conclusion? No. Okay. So number two is not possible. Number three, cricket is played by two teams. Now this is going to support his arguments. And this is not stated also. He never says that cricket is played by two teams. He is saying that when there is in democracy, okay, if there are two parties, then there is no democracy. Democracy would have been possible if politics were a game like cricket. But as of now, democracy is not possible. That means what? That means in cricket, cricket is something that has two teams. That is why he's saying that that is why he's saying cricket is just like having no democracy. And two teams also mean having no democracy. So these two are equal. So that is why number three, he never states it. He never states it directly, but that is what we understand. And that is why it is the assumption. Please check. Is it all right? Did you understand? Anybody has any query from all questions 1 to 8, please ask. Without any hesitation, please ask. We are in no rush. These questions look very simple. They look very simple, but sometimes they can be difficult. Okay. Right. Let's come to question number 9 then. Question number 9. This is a very controversial question. Okay. Unless you devote your whole life to it, you will never learn to speak the language of another country to perfection. You will never know its people and its literature with complete intimacy. Which of the following is likely to undermine the above arguments? How will you prove his argument wrong? Some of you will mark 1, some of you will mark 4. Okay, that is the controversy. Now, please understand, whenever he says, remember, because this kind of question you will come across a lot. Whenever he says unless, that means the only way to X is via Y. Okay, the only way to X is through Y. So the only way you can learn to speak the language of another country to perfection is if you devote your whole life. Okay. Whenever he says the only way to X is Y, immediately you can undermine his argument by talking about other ways in which you can reach the same goal, in which you can reach Y. Okay. So here he says, unless you devote your whole life to it, unless X, you will not do Y. You will not learn to speak the language of another country to perfection. You will not know its people and its literature. So whenever you find this kind of an argument, remember, to undermine these kind of arguments, always talk about other ways in which you can reach the same destination. That other way is not number 1, but number 4. Answer for this question is number 4. I'll tell you why number 1 is wrong. Okay, I will explain right now, but right now hold your horses. Number 4 says, I should spend time to understand my own people and literature first. Only then can I appreciate other languages and cultures. The passage says only way to appreciate other languages and cultures is to study it, devote your whole life. Now, I am punching holes in your argument by saying no, there are other ways. In fact, according to me, the only way in which you can learn other cultures is if you learn your own culture first. Okay. So, number four is weakening his argument because I am also saying this is the only way. The way you have suggested is not the way. The only way is the one I suggested, that you understand your own people and literature first. Only then you will appreciate your other languages. Even if you devote your entire life, if you do not understand your own people and literature first, then you will not appreciate other languages and cultures. So, number four, okay, remember, whenever you talk about other ways, then to make it more accurate, limit it by using the word only. He is saying only way to X is Y. You say no, the only way to Y is Z. The only way to Y is Z. Did you understand? Because this is the pattern which you will see in many other questions, right? Answer should be number four. Number four is how you will undermine the argument. Now the question is, why is number one wrong? I can speak 10 foreign languages already. So have you? How, do I know whether till date you have already devoted your entire life? Number one is wait. Isn't it possible that the moment in which you are speaking till now you have already devoted your whole life to the study of the language of another country, and that is why you are saying I can speak 10 foreign languages already. The mere fact that you have used the word already does not suggest that you have not devoted your entire life to the study of these 10 foreign languages. Okay? Number one is not right. Did you understand? People who mark number one. Five paras says about speaking the language. Okay. But not uh, but not appreciation. No, you have not read the entire passage. Then. You will never learn to speak the language of another country to perfection. You will never know its people and its literature with complete intimacy. It's not just the language. It is not just the language. You have to understand the culture also. You are looking at only one part of the passage. That is another reason why number one is wrong. You're only looking at the language, whereas number four is looking at both the language and the cultures. It is more comprehensive. Okay. See, he's talking about both language as well as knowing the people. That means the culture. These are two things that he wants to discuss. But in number one, he's only concentrating on language, whereas number four talks about both the languages and the cultures, both. So that gives me an indication that number four is more comprehensive. It's better. Okay. Question number 10. If this is clear, let's come to question number 10. This one is interesting. What does it tell you? In order to ease traffic congestion, okay, the planners, transport planners, they decided that they're going to build elevated monorail. Okay, they decided they will build elevated monorail. However, somebody pointed out that metro rail is a more effective solution, and that is why the plan was stalled. The plan to build monorail was stalled. Okay, now he tells you that meanwhile the traffic planners, they decided to build a system of subways and flyovers in the city. At the instant when the planners were preparing to award the contracts to the concerned parties, the transport planners came up with the contention that the subways interfered with the site of a pillar of the monorail system. And that is why the traffic planners had to give up the idea and think of other possible solutions. Please understand, monorail is in abeyance. Monorail project is in abeyance. It is in limbo. Okay, I have used two words, abeyance and it is in limbo. That means it has been stopped for some period of time. It is in temporary suspension, right? Monorail is in abeyance. Monorail is in limbo. You want to build metro, but when you start metro, then you come to know that 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 you want to build subway. When you want to build subway, then you come to know that it is interfering with the site of a pillar of the monorail system. So unless monorail system is cleared, nothing is going to work. Yes or no? Everything boils down to the monorail system. So what can you infer from the above passage? Number three. Number three is going to be the answer. Number two is not right. Okay, immediately I can punch holes in number two. Am I audible? Am I audible? Yes. Oh, so what was the last thing that you heard? I was saying that he is discussing. This is going in a circle. When the planners were awarding the contract, then they came to know that the subways. Voice is breaking. Am I audible? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Is it clear now? Can you hear me? Yes. Okay. So what was I saying? I was saying that number two cannot be inferred. You cannot infer that there is ongoing communication between the two groups of planners in the city because why? Because had there been ongoing communication, then why is there so much confusion? When the metro rail when the subway people when they started awarding the contract, then they came to know that it is interfering with the site of a pillar of the monorail system. So that means that there is no ongoing communication. Had there been ongoing communication, then there would have been no confusion. Before even they started planning subways, they would have understood, they would have come to know that it is interfering with the site of the pillar of the monorail system, and this plan would have been shelved. So number two is not right. Okay, number two is not right. Uh, but the second line states, however, it was pointed out by somebody. Yeah, it was pointed out by somebody that a metro rail system would be more effective solution to the traffic problem. Listen, I'm not talking about number one. I'm not talking about number one. I'm talking about number two. Number two cannot be inferred. Is that all right? Number two cannot be correct. Are you with me or not on that? Okay. If the word ongoing had not been there is communication between the two groups of planners. Yes, I think then number two would have been right. So we are all in agreement that number two cannot be inferred. Okay. There is communication in the sense that when I award the contract, then the other department, they communicate and tell me that, listen, you cannot award the contract because it is interfering with the site of a pillar of the monorail system. There is communication, but there is no ongoing communication. Ongoing means it is on a continuous basis. So number two is not right. It cannot be inferred. Number one also cannot be inferred. The mere fact that the metro rail system is a more effective solution. Understood. Does that mean that the monorail system is impractical? No, it may be practical, but metro is better. He never says that monorail system is impractical. Metro is a better option. That does not mean that monorail is not going to work. Number one also cannot be inferred. Number one also cannot be inferred. Only number three can be inferred, that the projects are going to be stalled for an indefinite period of time. Did you understand now? Did you understand? I was eating, I was eating chocolates. I was eating chocolate. I left the chocolate and I started eating pizza. Okay. Does that mean that I was eating chocolates? I left the chocolate and I started eating pizza. I found pizza to be tastier. Does that mean that the chocolate did not taste good, or it was bad? No. It simply means that the pizza was tastier. That's it. So yes, metro rail is effective solution. It's a more effective solution, but that does not mean that monorail system is impractical. Monorail system can also be effective. Metro is more effective. That is why number one cannot be inferred. Answer for question number 10 is going to remain 3. Okay. Anybody has any doubt in any question 1 to 10? Please ask. Anybody did not understand? All clear? Okay. Good. Very, very good. Now, slowly, steadily, we are going to increase the level. Okay. Let's come to the next questions. Now, I think we will have to take 6 questions at a time. Question number 11 to question number 16 in one go. Please solve question number 11 to question number 16. I'm going to give you 20 minutes. Okay. So around it is 7:17 right now. 7:35, 7:35, 7:40. We'll start the discussion. Please start. Okay. I think we have comfortably completed it. Should we check now? Question 11 to 16. Right. Number 11. Question number 11. He's telling you that Deepa Mehta's movie Fire is under fire. Okay. Who is attacking this movie? Self-appointed moral police. They believe that the film is a violation of Indian cultural mores and cannot be allowed to influence the Indian psyche. According to them, such films ruin the moral fabric of the nation, and this moral fabric must be protected and defended against such intrusions at all costs, even at the cost of cultural dictatorship. Okay. So, based on the information in the above passage, what can we infer? What can we infer? Can we infer number one? Can we infer that the moral police, they are assuming that When they are critiquing fire, they are assuming that Indian audience is vulnerable to all types of influence. Are they concerned about all types of influence? No, they are only concerned about those influences. Okay, those influences which, according to them, ruin the moral fabric of the nation. So yes, number two is going to be right. Number two is going to be right. The assumption. These guys are working under the assumption that Indian audience is impressionable and it must be protected against immoral influences. They are not concerned about other influences. They're not concerned about all types of influences. They're only concerned about immoral influences. So number two is right. Absolutely. Question number 11, answer is two. Anybody has a doubt, ask. Question number 12. Number 12, he says whether we look at the intrinsic value of a literature or at the particular situation of this country, we shall see the strongest reason to think that of all foreign tongues, the English tongue is that which would be the most useful to our native subjects. So the speaker he's promoting the English language. He believes that of all foreign tongues, English language is going to be the most useful to our native subjects. Okay, whether you look at it from the intrinsic value of the literature, whether you look at the situation of this country, from every angle, this speaker believes that English language is going to be the most useful. From this passage, it can be inferred that can we infer that the speaker is a die-hard colonist? Can we infer that the speaker believes in something called monarchy and control over other countries? No. Can we believe that the speaker has the good of the nation at heart? No. He may be a person who is promoting. Okay, he may be a person who is promoting English language, and that is why he's saying of all the foreign tongues, English language is most useful. How do we know that he has the good of the nation at heart? Number two is wrong. Is the speaker addressing an issue which is related to a colonial empire? No, that is not true. He is talking about which language is going to be suitable. Which language is going to be suitable to our native subjects. That's it. So it is he. This is not an issue that is related to monarchy. So number three also is not right. So we cannot infer anything. We cannot infer anything from here. Answer should be four. Rohan, but you're saying he is thinking for everyone to study. Yes. So he thinks he thinks that of all the foreign tongues, the English tongue is that which would be the most useful to our native subject. Okay. So what does this mean? He believes that English language is the most useful language for the people of this country. Native subjects means the people of this country. On that basis, can you infer that he is talking about some colonial empire, or he is a die-hard colonist, or he has the good of the nation at heart? According to him, English is the most useful. According to me, English may be the least useful. So how can you say that he is thinking for everybody? Okay. So number four is going to be the answer. You cannot infer anything from this passage. Number 13. Very, very easy. Very, very easy question. Three airlines operate on the same route. To increase the number of seats sold, one airline reduced the fare, and this was copied by the other two airlines immediately. The belief was that the volume of air travel between Delhi and Mumbai will increase as a result. Okay, when you reduce the fare, the volume of travel will increase. That is the belief among all the three airlines. Which of the following, if true, would add credence to the general belief? What will support the belief? They believe that if you reduce the fare, the volume of air travel increases. Absolutely. If there is a study that shows air travelers in India are price conscious, when you reduce the price, more number of people start using aeroplanes. Then yes, you are supporting the belief that reduction in fare is going to increase the volume of air travel. Absolutely. Very, very easy question. Number 13. Anyone has any doubt till now? 14. This one is interesting. Now, according to McNeil, a Brahmin priest, what was the Brahmin priest expected to do? A Brahmin priest was expected to recite at least one of the Vedas. Okay. Now, why was this necessary? This was essential because Vedas had not yet been written down. So, because the priest had to recite the Vedas had not been written down. This must have had a selective effect. Why? Because priests would have been recruited from those who are able or willing to memorize long passages. So those people who cannot memorize or who are not willing to memorize passages, they would not become a priest. Now this must have helped in the dissemination. Dissemination means spread. This must have helped in the spread of the work. Why? Because when a passage is memorized, it can be duplicated many times. If I memorize something, I can repeat it as many times as I want. I can duplicate it. Whenever I want it, I can use it. So the Brahmin priest was expected to memorize the passages, and wherever needed, he was expected to duplicate it. So, which of the following can be inferred from the above passage? From this information, what can we infer? Absolutely. Number two, the Vedic priest was like a recorded audio cassette. And just like a recorded audio cassette, you can listen to the same song again and again and again on a loop. Similarly, these, these priests would reproduce the passages as many times as was required. Number two should be the answer. Many people mark number three. Many people mark number three. McNeil studied the behavior of the Brahmin priests. This is not true. When I say according to McNeil, isn't it possible that McNeil has not studied the behavior? It is just an opinion that he is passing. According to McNeil means it is McNeil's opinion. Whether he formed this opinion after studying the behavior of the Brahmin priests, or he has formed this opinion without any base, without any reason, we don't know. So we can't say that McNeil studied the behavior of the Brahmin priests. Okay. Many people mark number one also. Reciting the Vedas was a Brahmin's obligation. No, it was not a Brahmin's obligation. It was the Brahmin priest's obligation. Not every Brahmin was a priest. So number one also is not right. Number four is already mentioned. So what is there to infer? Number four is already stated that Vedic hymns had not been scripted, means they had not been written down. Question number 14, answer is 2. Question number 15. Hindi ought to be the official language of India. There is no reason for the government to spend money in printing documents in different languages just to cater to people who cannot read or write Hindi. The government has better ways to spend taxpayers' money. People across India should read or write Hindi or learn it at the earliest. Okay. Now this is from ZAT 2008. ZAT questions are very complicated. From tomorrow I'll show you ZAT questions. ZAT questions are very complicated. Now the question is number 15. Which of the following would weaken the speaker's arguments? He wants you to make Hindi the official language. He wants everybody to learn how to read or write Hindi at the earliest. Okay. How can we weaken his arguments? Okay. Many people mark number 5. Many people say people who are multilingual, they usually pay maximum taxes. Now this is a question for which no precise solution is available. Okay, because that 2008 in 2008 they never told us what is going to be the answer. So whatever answer we are coming to through logic. Some books will mention number 5 as the answer. They will say that people who are multilingual usually pay maximum taxes. I don't believe number five is the answer. Why? The objection is, if I'm asking you to be multilingual, that means you know many languages. Okay, you know many languages, right? But I never said that if you know many languages, Hindi cannot be the official language. Yeah, yeah, you can know many languages. The only thing is that Hindi is the official language. If you are multilingual, you pay maximum taxes. Who is stopping you from learning other languages? Hindi will remain the official language, but learn as many other languages as you want. How is it weakening the argument of the speaker? Number five does not weaken the argument at all. Okay? Number five does not weaken the argument because even if I make Hindi the official language, I can learn so many other languages. So my being multilingual has no impact. Number five will not work. Okay? You want to mark four, Nikita. Making Hindi the official language is a politically unpopular idea. Okay. It is a politically unpopular idea. Now this number four looks good. Looks good. We can weaken the speaker's argument by saying that when you make Hindi the official language, it is a politically unpopular idea. But that is not a very strong argument against making Hindi the official language. Why? Because his intention is he wants to he wants to save money. Okay, something may be unpopular. See, common sense tells you that taxes are very unpopular. Nobody likes to pay taxes. If you're working, you know the pain of paying taxes. You don't want to pay taxes. It's very unpopular, but still there are taxes. Okay, it is necessary. So something can be politically unpopular. It may be politically unpopular, but over here his intention is to save money. Even if it's politically unpopular, Hindi should be the official language. Number four does not weaken it. Number four does not weaken the argument. Did you understand why four and five are not right? Okay. Number one, you want to mark the government currently translates official documents into more than 18 languages. So you are supporting his argument. This is not weakening the argument. Number one is not weakening the argument. You are supporting what he's saying. So number one also will not work. Answer for this question, according to me, should be number two. Why it should be number two? You are asking you are saying that Hindi should be official language. Everybody should learn Hindi. Everybody should read, write Hindi or learn it at the earliest. I can punch holes in your argument by saying that listen, it's you are saying that we should learn it, but how do we learn it? It's very difficult. It is the most difficult language in the world. It is the most difficult language in the world to speak. So your suggestion that we should learn it, okay, your suggestion that we should learn it, and Hindi should become official language. If we are not able to, because if it is the most difficult language in the world to speak, then it is going to be difficult for us to learn. If we are not able to learn, then if you make Hindi the official language, there are going to be lots of problems. That is how we'll come to answer number two. Okay. Number two seemed too extreme. Yeah, so what? So what? So extremes can be answers. Okay. Now, Siddhant, number two talks about Hindi being hardest. Hindi being hardest to speak, while paragraph went more into read and writing or learn it. No, this is exactly what I'm trying to say. You concentrate only on this part. You read or write it, or you learn it at the earliest. When he's using the expression "learn it," speaking is also a part of learning it. Okay. Uh, Siddhant, what are you saying? Is there a necessary direct relation? Is there a necessary direct relation between what? Between what? Okay, I have answered, right. So I'm telling you that if he's asking you to learn it, he's asking you to learn the language. If you say, see, they have made it complicated. They have made number two complicated by by using the word speak and not using read and write. That is how they are throwing us off guard. In number two, that is how they're throwing us off guard. Number five, most of the students mark number five. But number five, immediately I have checked with other institutions also. They also say that number five will not make sense if you look at it carefully. Because if you are multilingual, so who's stopping you from being multilingual? You may be I may know 10 different languages. Out of these 10 languages, Hindi is the official language. So what is the problem? How is it weakening? You have to prove that Hindi should not be the official language. Number five does not prove. Okay. Siddhant, because the passage was more towards printing. No, the the money that is spent in printing. The money that they spend in printing. Okay. They print a lot of documents. They spend a lot of money. Yes. Number two, I think it would have been much better if he had, if, see, we are not going to get perfect answers. It would have been much better if in number two he had used the words learn, or he had used read or write or speak. It would have been much better. Number two would have been much better. But even with this disadvantage, if I say it is the most difficult language in the world, it is the most difficult language in the world. It is not easy to learn, to speak, to read, to write. Then you are asking us. Then you're asking us to make Hindi the official language. It is not going to work. Okay. So I think number two should be the answer for this question. Number 15. I told you what is my objection with number five. Okay, so I think number two will be the answer for question number 15. Now, coming to, if this is all clear, let's come to the last question for today, number 16. Number 16 is from CAT 2009. Okay, nature lovers are attracted to forests and nature parks. Just look at the number of people visiting the Corbett National Park. Which of the following exhibits a pattern of reasoning least dissimilar? Dissimilar means most similar. Which is most similar to the one exhibited in the argument above? This is an application question. Application question, okay? Application question hai ye. This is parallel reasoning. Whatever you see in the passage, the same thing, the same pattern you have to see in the answer. Number five is not right. Number five is not right, guys. Why? Why is number five not right? Tell me. What is the logic? Number five not being right? Okay. What is happening here? He forms the conclusion first. Nature lovers are attracted to forests and nature parks. That is the conclusion he forms. He forms this conclusion on the basis of what? On the basis of the fact that there are a number of people who visit the Corbett National Park. So the conclusion comes first. Okay. What is the pattern? Conclusion will come first, and after this conclusion, he's going to mention the premise. Right? Number five is wrong. Why is it wrong? Because the premise comes first and the conclusion follows. So this is premise followed by conclusion. Number five is not right. Okay. Number 4, cigarette smoking is known to cause lung cancer in some people. Okay. So this is kind of conclusion. Okay. However, most victims of lung cancer live in regions where smoking is uncommon. So you start with the conclusion, but you negate that conclusion. The next statement, you're negating the conclusion. It does not follow the pattern. Number 4 is not right. Immediately you come to the answer 3. Yes, yes, answer is number 3. Please must thrive in a warm environment. This is the conclusion. You are forming this conclusion on the premise that during warm weather, my dog suffers from fleas more so than during cooler weather. Based on this, you form the conclusion that fleas must thrive in a warm environment. The only confusion, if at all you had, should have been between options 3 and 5. Options 3 and 5. Okay, that should have been the only conclusion. Other options you can easily eliminate. But I told you why number 5 is not the answer, because the premise comes first, followed by the conclusion. Whereas in the question, in the passage that you have in the question, the conclusion comes first, followed by the premise. So we have to follow the same pattern. Answer is going to be 3. Anybody has any doubt? Number 2 also, see what happens. The premise comes first, followed by the conclusion, cannot be the answer. And what happens? The premise comes first in number 1, followed by the conclusion. Premise, conclusion. So everywhere it is premise, conclusion, premise, conclusion, premise, conclusion. It's only in number 3 where the conclusion comes first, followed by the premise. That is why for question number 16, answer is 3. Is it clear? Anybody has any doubt? In any of the questions 1 to 16? Okay. Right. In that case, that's it for today. When we meet tomorrow, yes, Nikita, we are going to continue with the practice on that questions. What should be the score? What should be the score, Sai? Okay. I think a score of 10 to 12 will work in this paper. 10 to 12. Okay. Nikita, your passages are already solved. You will have to contact Nathan, sir, for that. Okay. Yes, he will reset them. He will reset them. Just notify him. Okay. Tomorrow, same time, we'll take a look at more complicated questions from that. Okay. Take care, all of you.
Music